Hey, what's up guys, Thetcglover here, coming out a video today. Right, so it has been about 2 weeks since my last video, and I have a perfectly good explanation. I do have assignments, I have stuff to do in university, and I keep saying that for most of my videos that I make recently, but I really want to make a consistent schedule with videos, but I just really have so much stuff to do, and I just want to keep making good videos, but you know, it's really hard to prioritize everything, you know. So anyway, today's video is going to be talking about two different cards. Artifact Scythe, which is going to be the sneak peek promo of Primal Origin, and Kuribandit, which is going to be I believe it's going to be a secret rare in Dragons of Legend. Anyway, let's talk about Artifact Scythe. Anyway, so as a promo, it needs to be contextual to the set, basically. So artifacts are coming out in Primal Origin, and Artifact Scythe is an addition to the plethora of little artifact-y stuff that we get in the set. Now, Artifact Scythe is okay. I mean, like, a lot of people are hyping it up to be the most amazing thing I've ever seen, but if you actually look at it and actually think about it, it's okay. It has all the same things as a normal artifact card has, which is where it's level 5 fairy light, and it has some kind of decent attack to it. So it's got 2200 attack, 900 defense. You can set this card from your hand, same thing as artifacts. However, on your opponent's turn, if it's destroyed or it's special summoned during your opponent's turn, your opponent cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn. So if they MST, right, to try and make a push, you can special summon the Scythe, and your opponent's now blocked out of using Xyz and Synchros. Or even pendulum summoning monsters that have been destroyed, pendulum monsters that have been destroyed that have gone into the extra deck. So basically it locks them out of pendulum monsters in the extra deck, which is really nice. So it blocks a lot of stuff out. You have to think, what is the artifact engine exactly? It's basically Theosophy with more attack. I think it's Moraltech or Morotech, and maybe the other artifacts. You know, there's a couple other ones. There's the one that draws, and there's a couple other things, but generally you just want to use Moraltech and Theosophy and maybe artifact movement, you know, because then you can have like 9 MSTs in the deck. Point is that the card is really good. It is a stun card. It blocks, you know, makes your opponent, it punishes your opponent for trying to MST you, basically, just like all the other artifacts. You know, if your opponent tries to clear the board to try and push through, then artifacts punish. However, artifacts have that inherent problem where they sit on the field, and if your opponent just trap stuns, goes into game, then it just sits there and does nothing, you know. And also things like Light Imprisoning Mirror, which stops your opponent, stops your artifacts completely, because you have no, you know. Although that being said, I mean, side cards are not very good against artifacts because they do run like 9 MST. Point is that basically Theosophy allows you to rip this card straight out of your deck onto the field. So if your opponent is trying to do something, like he summons 2 level 4s and they're just sitting there doing nothing, you can activate Theosophy, special summon Scythe in attack mode, and now your opponent can't do anything. So in that sense, it's really, really good because it does block your opponent out of things. It makes ugly boards, and then on your turn you can do some stuff, and then you can create or artifact Durandal, attack over their monsters, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, they can have Bear and Gorilla, then you Theosophy, and they're like, oh, okay, wow. Okay, that's always great. And obviously Theosophy, when it dies, you can pop something anyway, so it's pretty much a win-win. But that being said, is this card more beneficial to go into rather than More Attack? Because More Attack allows you to destroy a monster or a card your opponent controls when it's special summoned. So ultimately your opponent can do anything, and then you activate Theosophy, and then you special summon the Moraltech, and then it pops whatever your opponent summons. So think of it like Pallades, right? Constellar Pallades, if your opponent tries to do anything that's a bit creepy, a bit weird, then you can activate Pallades, bounce it back to the hand, and have to deal with it, you know. So if you know your opponent's using like Rescue Rabbit, you bounce it back, you know, stuff like that. More Attack is like that, but better, because it's more generic. Theosophy is one card, you get Moraltech pops, it stops your opponent from doing anything. So they activate Tenki, get Bear, or they activate Tenki, for God's sake, you Theosophy, get Moraltech, stop the Tenki, and now you have a 100 monster on the field. So whether or not you'd rather go into Moraltech rather than Scythe, you know, that's the thing. Scythe is pretty much a one-off. If you're going to play artifacts, probably play one, because you don't really want to see this other than the time that you really need its effect to stop your opponent. That's pretty much all I can say about that. But if you feel like it's a free of, or it's a really important card that's going to change the game, then definitely do comment down below if you feel like I'm wrong about that. The next card we're going to talk about is Kuribandit. It's going to be in Dragons of Legend. It's going to be really interesting. It's basically like a card for Sylvans, but it does some other things as well. Kuribandit allows you to summon it, and then during the end phase, if this card was normal summon this turn, so it's basically like card D, you contribute this card, excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, and if you can add one of the excavated spell or trap cards to your hand. Also send the remaining cards to the graveyard. Now basically it's like card D, right? Because card D, you tribute during, and then it ends your turn, you can draw 2 cards, right? So basically it replaces itself plus another card, so it's worth doing it. Obviously you know what card D is, I'm not going to treat you like an idiot here. But Kuribandit basically allows you to mill some stuff or excavate things, which is great in Sylvans because you can send a whole bunch of things, and then you can add spell or trap card back. However, obviously we know that a spell or trap card that's added back with Kuribandit can't be used because the trap card can't be set because it's your end phase. It sits in your hand, and so Kuribandit literally will, most of the time, will replace itself with a decent trap card, maybe Torrential, maybe Bottomless, maybe Dark Hole, maybe MST, anything like that. So you'll be able to kind of get through your deck faster and send any of the remaining cards to the graveyard. So you can think of a whole bunch of different cards, like Dragon Rulers for example, where you can just send stuff to the graveyard with this, and then you can go and get like Gold Sarcophagus, and then it comes back. You know, it's a really great way to construct your hand in a way that improves your next turn. You know, you can literally go off next turn if you get the right cards. Obviously in stuff like Sylvans, as I keep mentioning, you don't have to wait. Sylvans allow you to, you know, when they get excavated and sent to the graveyard, you'll be able to literally get their effects off. So you'll be able to special summon things with Peacekeeper, you'll be able to destroy your opponent's monsters all off one Kuribandit. So even though you have to worry about Kuribandit getting Veilered, at the same time Kuribandit is one of those, like, it's not like Card Trooper where when it dies it replaces a card, you know. It's like Kuribandit, it can give you nothing, but in the right deck it can give you everything, you know. So in Sylvans it's a nice little cutesy gimmick, but I don't know whether or not it's actually going to be anything relevant. But we'll have to find out. I think it will definitely be a decent money card in the set, that's for sure, because Dragons of Legend is really looking to find some cards which are worth pushing, because they have all these little cute things like Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight, which is going to be a really cool card. No one's going to play it because it's really hard. No one's going to play Dark Magician Girl unless they give it so much support that it's worth playing. You know, the card is inherently bad, so it's nothing to do with Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. It's more or less to do with its materials, and you know, you need to have it on the field and stuff like that. So Kuribandit is actually a nice generic rank for level 3 Fiend, which you can get with Tour Guide if you need to do that, and then lets you set up for next turn, which is really great. Comment down below how you feel about these 2 cards. They're both completely different in how they work. Obviously I'm not trying to compare the 2, but definitely do comment down below, and I want to hear your thoughts on it. And I just want to say once again, I'm very sorry, and I've been getting messages from people asking me when's my content going to come up, and I'm like, I can't find any time. But I've now sort of, now and again I can find a small brief period of time to actually make a video, so hopefully you guys, it's something for you guys to watch. So hopefully I'll be able to do another video in a few days, and I'll see you guys then. So thank you for watching guys, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, the Thetcglover is out.